Yo, 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 yo! What is up? What is up? What is up? I hope everyone's having a great day tonight. A great day tonight. Came and talk. How's the bye week, guys? How has everyone been holding up? And just talking about this team in general this past week. It's been actually pretty nice to just be on a bye week. Wait till guys get healthy. But the question is, are these coordinators going to get better coming off the bye? Have they learned through the first half of the season that we really need to respond? Okay. There's a lot going on with this team regarding this defense. The offense, BrianJohnson needs to get his shit together when it comes to situational football. I think we've talked about this on a regular basis every single week. But Sean Desai, let me tell you something. With Bradley Roby coming back this week, after the bye week, okay? Bradley Roby's coming back. More so, you're more solidified at the nickel spot now. And they have got to start figuring out what they're doing with these corners. I'm not saying that they have to change their whole entire scheme, but they have to revamp a little bit. They need a little bit of a revamp. Whether it's moving certain players, because really they can't do this shit anymore. They can't afford to. They're going to play off the ball. I get it, but they can't afford to have mismatches every single week. They can't afford it. I'm just saying, because it's not going to look good. It's not. Nakobe Dean's out. And, Nicholas Morrow through 8 weeks of the season has been, I forgot, like 9 weeks. I think he's been like the eighth best off-ball linebacker, which is pretty damn good, I gotta say. Nakobe Dean's hurt for a third time, second time on IR. And, to me, I just feel like it's just not precise of what we have to do this year. Might not be Nakobe Dean's year this year. Can you win with Nakobe Dean this year? Can you win with this scheme this year? And to be honest, guys, like they're not winning no playoff game or Super Bowl like this. It's just not going to happen. It's not. As much as I'll support this team, and it's great that they're winning and they're 8-1, and people are telling me that should be overreacting, but the you're not winning championship games with this. Offensively, there's just little things that need to be fixed, but defensively, I just can't stand the way you're making QBs look. That's just the way it's going to be. I understand it, but they have got to figure out they need to do something better with these corners. I mean, they're getting burned. These linebackers getting burned. I mean, we can't contest one catch at all. I mean, there's even Eagle fans out there. I made a video this morning. See the Eagle fans out there saying the rest Jalen Hurts for another week to sacrifice a game. Can't sacrifice a game against KC, the defending Super Bowl champions. It's going to make us look really weak if we do that. I can understand the last 3 games of the season are the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants. And those are 3 games where hopefully by that time the Eagles have the number 1 seed. We'll find out. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody being here. We got Logan Motorsports. What's going on? We got Anthony Nava. What's going on? Joe Rodriguez, Daniel Berry Sports, Michael Goldberg. Got Mark Reese, Aiden, Joe, Chris Bryant, Jaquin Lagar. What's going on, man? Michael Stone. What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a good day. Got Michaela Cox. What's going on with the super chat? Thank you so much. Got Mark Perez with the super chat. I feel like this defense will look 100 in the playoffs. I mean, I hope so. I mean, I don't. Me personally, I'm not going to get tricked like I did last year, where people were telling me to relax when the offense was putting up points, and we could have really just destroyed teams we could have destroyed a lot of teams by 3 scores or more last year. And Jonathan Gannon yet just giving offenses life and taking his foot off the gas and being too conservative. And I'm not going to get tricked like that again this year. I'm not going to get fooled by Sean Desai and his defense. I mean, realistically, Gannon's defense and Sean Desai's defense blitz rate wise are almost the same. I mean, the good thing is that the full blitz rate for Jonathan Gannon was for last year, obviously, and Sean Desai is a little bit past that number by like 0.6. Okay, they still need to, if it's second and long, third and long, like blitz your linebacker. Stop with the 4-man pass rush. Like, put another guy in there. So you're not giving up a big play. You know what I mean? It's really annoying at times. Appreciate the super chat, Martin, very much. John says we need Hurts to play this tough stretch. Let him rest when we lock up everything. I actually agreed with Sills on what he said this week. If Jalen Hurts goes 4-1, okay, I think he gets MVP because the statistics are pretty damn close between him and Patrick Mahomes right now. Now, depending on overall total touchdowns, because we know Jalen Hurts has some rushing touchdowns, and the league doesn't really respect the rushing touchdowns too much, even though they get the same amount of points as a passing touchdown. The league is changing. But I totally believe Sills when he said that if we go 4-1 with Jalen Hurts, I think he'll get the MVP. I think there's a good chance. It will change a lot of stuff. Baldy, what's going on? Says Gann blitz rate is 30+% with half defense. He just had. I think the scheme is from up top because they don't want to do an overhaul on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think it's 30%. It's not even 30%. It's not even 24%. That's wrong. It's not even. If it was 30%, we would know the damn difference. It's 100% not 30%. It's like 22.3 or 20. It's between 21 it's between 22 to 23, a little over 23%. It's not 30. It's not 30 plus. It's definitely not 30 plus. 100% it's not. What's going on, Jolo? Brian, what's up? King of Philly says every time Nakobe Dean is on the field, those tight ends, it's National Tight End Day. Yeah. And it's so crazy that statistically, he has looked as bad in coverage. He has looked statistically as bad in coverage, as bad as Nate Gary back in 2019. That's what I read the other day, a couple days ago. I mean, that's crazy. Now, I think the scheme is hurting everybody, so I'm not going to say Nakobe Dean is bad, but these injuries are bad. What's really bad with Nakobe Dean is these damn injuries. Really bad. When we drafted him, there was a lot of rumors about him having these little injuries all the time, and I guess we got tricked. I guess we got fooled. Can we win with Nakobe Dean at middle linebacker? I don't know. How many times can we going to bring him back and bring him back and bring him back to the active? Now, this is a new rule that I found out the other day. I don't know if you guys know it when it comes to IR. You can only bring back 8 players a year from IR. There's actually a rule for that, which I never even knew. So you can only bring back 8 players 8 different times from IR. Could be the same player. Doesn't matter. Okay. So trying to remember who else was on IR this year, besides Maddox being out the rest of the year, Sean Bradley, Zach McPherson, some of these other guys. So Mark President Super Chat says we are a good red zone defense that killed us in the Super Bowl. Yeah, no, the red zone defense is fine. Well, because you know why the red defense isn't that bad? It's because we don't have a lot of field to cover. That's why it's good. That's why it's actually good, because we don't have a lot of field to cover, and these guys can't get burnt for 50, 60 yards downfield. That's one of the big differences. You know what I mean? Junie, what's going on? Stiegel fan, what's up, dude? We're most likely going 4-1. I feel good. I feel good about it. KC is going to be an interesting one in Kansas City. It's going to be a tough one for me. The defense for KC is really good, and they'll blitz and they'll bring pressure, and Hurts is going to, the good thing is Hurts is going to be a lot more healthier going to this game. I was watching highlights from last year with Jalen Hurts, and man, like the speed from, because we're so used to him not running as fast with this injury, and man, I miss him running so quick, man. It's a huge difference. Drew says our defense might cost Jalen the MVP if we drop some games. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, it could. Yeah. Dank says KC or Dallas. So you think one of those two teams will be the one loss? Because I think the Eagles can beat San Francisco at home. I think the Eagles can beat the Bills. Bills are very up and down this year. You still got the Cowboys, obviously, and you got KC. KC or Dallas, I could see one of those two being a loss this year. We either split with Dallas or we lose to KC. So we'll figure it out. Chris Dick says, yeah, we just need to blitz and not sell big plays because how do we give up a 3rd and 21 and we have the best D-line football? We need a blitz. Yeah, it's because he's still rushing 4 guys. At least if you blitz an extra guy and sacrifice one guy, that means that it might be a short pass. He won't make it if it's a long 3rd and 21 or something like that. You know what I mean? They have to bring in an extra guy. Like he's being way too conservative. They did it against Miami. They did it against Miami as well. Really sucked, man. It really pissed me off in a lot of ways. We got a super chat from Keegan Bailey. Thank you so much, man. Says Sirianni said last year that the scheme Gann runs is what he prefers. I believe the scheme they run is from the top. What are your thoughts on that? I don't like it. I hate it. I absolutely don't like it. I don't like how, and I'm not, like I said, like I'm not expecting these guys to play press. Like James Bradbury is a physical corner, okay? Slay is a physical corner, you know, and Avonte Max being hurt 4 times in 2 years is not great either, which I think they'll move on from him after this year with the $10 million cap hit. They need to revamp this secondary on what to do because the communication sucks. They changed the defense like 10 times this year. I think 9 or like 10 times, a lot. They changed it nonstop, you know, and things. I can't like when Slay went up to Sean Desai in the 4th quarter and says if 88's in the slot, I'm taking the slot. Okay, that was fucking great. You know, like Slay was just getting sick and tired of like CeeDee Lamb doing everything on us. I mean, he was against 2 rookies the whole day, 191, 192 yards. It's fucking nuts. I mean, it's crazy how the Eagles are so I mean, I thought this team was resilient. After that Cowboys game, they were really resilient. I mean, crazy resilient. I mean, that's a tough. I mean, as soon as we punted the ball to the 14-yard line, I thought we were losing the game because I'm like, there's no way. I mean, you did a fucking stupid 3rd and 3 after an 8-yard run with an 8-yard run with DeAndre Swift. They take him out, they put Gainwell in, and they throw a bomb to AJ Brown on the left sideline that goes out of bounds. And then they punt the fucking ball, you know, to the 14. And then that was really it. And then we literally gave the Cowboys all the yardage from the 14 to the 50, to the 50 to the 25, to the 25 to the 11, to the 11 to the 6. And then the Cowboys got 3 penalties that moved them back. And then we started to get some sacks. Oh, Josh Sweat, 6.5 sacks, 50 pressures for the year, man. Hassan Reddick was very good in that game last week. So it's nuts. Lil G. Grove says, great team and go Eagles. 8-1 Eagles beat Chiefs. I'm going to be worried about that game, guys, no doubt. Definitely. Andy Rose says, it's a crime Nick Sirianni doesn't get looked at as a top 5 head coach in the league. Yes, the roster is fire, but we have seen coaches mess up things. Oh, that's 100%. Dude, you just went to the Super Bowl. You lost. You got 2 new coordinators, and you're 8-1 right now. There are not a lot of teams that could do that. Mostly teams coming off of Super Bowls are never back in Super Bowls, but not even just that. Most teams are not successful after Super Bowls, okay? Players leave, coaches leave, and the team just changes. But holy shit, dude. You don't see anything like this at all. Ron says, so say we win out until we play our first Giants game. Would we need to beat New York at least once to secure division and first seed, or would we already have first seed secure? It really depends on what San Francisco is doing. It really depends on San Francisco, and it depends on I mean, shit, if we're unbeaten by the first Giants game, then yeah, I would say sure. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, from my opinion, I think they'll be set by that time. And then you can start resting some guys. You know what I mean? John says, "Is this defense scheme is up top? Then they need to wake up." Yeah, dude. I mean, us fans, we see it every single week. I talked about Nakobe Dean this past week. People were pissed off at me. Like, if I say something good about Nakobe Dean, people say he sucks. And I say something bad about him, people say I'm overreacting. It's just I don't win either way. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never said that he sucks. I just feel like he's just not panning out this year. This is technically his rookie year, really, as a pure starter. I don't give a fuck what he did last year with the sample sizes that he got. Thanks is Konnichiwa Oji. What is that? I don't know what that is. Because when we play Kansas City, we'll have flashbacks of yeah. You know what? The Eagles are going to go into that game pissed off. The only good thing about this Kansas City game is like Hurts is going to be so motivated. He's always motivated, but he's going to have that little extra motivation to get his fucking revenge. And I understand that, this isn't a Super Bowl. This isn't a playoff game. This isn't anything crazy. This is just a regular season game. But to kind of get one on, I mean, to be honest with you, Matt Nagy, coordinator, I mean, Matt Nagy is coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like they really haven't done a good job. Okay. KC's defense is playing pretty damn good. They're gonna bring a lot of pressure. They're not afraid. They're not afraid like us. It's crazy, man. 505 PC85. What's up, Joey? So, God, first, it's so quiet without Cowboy fans. Go Birds. I had a couple Cowboy fans. I had one message me on Twitter, and talk to me about the game and the excuses that came out, and it's crazy, man. Jeremy says every QB destroyed us but lost except Wilson. He sucked, but the Jets beat us. So Dak destroying us but losing is what has happened all season. I mean, that's what your defense. You guys like, oh, your secondary's trash. I'm like, you know what? They're not good. You're right. It's not the secondary. It's the scheme. It's like, yeah. I told everybody that Dak Prescott was going to get his yards. Dak was going to get his yards. There was no doubt. And every game, not even just the game that we play against Dak and the Cowboys, like every game we make every quarterback look that great. We are the number one team. Okay, I don't care. Like I know we're 27th in yards, whatever it is, against the pass, whatever. But we're the number one team for quarterbacks that are throwing 71 and over 73% on us. Quarterbacks in every week of our schedule have passed more on us than any other team on their schedules. I mean, that's crazy. Teams are barely running on us anymore. We're like, hey, everything underneath is going to be wide open from the way the Eagles play defense. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Which says we got to watch Detroit because their schedules is yeah, we'll see. If that matter comes in hand, we'll see. Jeremy says, dude, it's your channel. Say whatever you want. No, I do. Punjab, so what up, Joey? Will you be game tonight? Sure. Ball Eagle says, I'm telling you, Gannon has been blitzing way more this year. Gannon has been blitzing way more this year than the Cardinals from this is from up top. I don't know what the blitz rate is for the Cardinals right now. I honestly don't know. I need to see if anyone could find a number for that. If anyone knows how to find out that information on like what's the Cardinals blitz rate right now, and they have less talent. You're totally right. Oh, it means good afternoon. How are I didn't know that. Joey says, but the Lions are catching to us. So we need both 49ers and Lions to lose, Joey. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think the Lions are a very tough team. Definitely a team that's spiraling up, no doubt. You know what I mean? We got super chat. Thank you so much, Keegan Bailey, for that. It says, why is this the defense the GM and coaches like? Why won't they change it? Do you have any idea why? I think that's kind of more what I'm asking before. Also, your perspective are 100. I appreciate it. I don't know why they don't like I don't get how you can go into a press conference. Sean Desai goes to his press conference and says, I want this defense to be felt and physical and violent and hitting quarterbacks. And I mean, the defensive line is not the problem here. Like, generating a pass rush sometimes is the problem. Taking away the first read is the problem. Why are you even paying cornerbacks? Why do you even pay them a lot of money? For what? If you're just going to have them sit back, I'd rather have Josh Jobe and Eli Ricks on the outside if that's what you're going to do. I'd put any other corner on our practice squad out there. Literally, if that's what you're going to do with our starting corners that are making a lot of money. There's no point. It's like paying a quarterback top money just to hand the ball off and not pass the ball. It's like the same shit. And I don't know why they like it. I don't want them thinking like seriously, like the press conferences are telling us like they're not going to throw anybody under the bus. So if you're looking at a press conference, you're expecting someone to get thrown under the bus from the players or coach perspective. It's not going to happen. Okay. What I could kind of tell from this whole situation, and I'm hoping to God that behind the scenes, they are talking about kind of a little revamp with the secondary. They have to, with Roby coming in. This is why we couldn't move. This is why we couldn't move. Okay. Slay to the inside the past few weeks, because they cannot. You would rather have Eli Ricks or Sidney Brown on the inside than on the outside, because you're going to give up an easy play on the outside. At least on the inside, you'll give up some yards, but you have guys in the back end can hopefully make the stop, and it's more dangerous for Slay to move into the inside. But for right now, Roby's got to stay healthy, and they can start moving some guys around. They got to do it. They can't do this shit every week. It's not going to work every week. It's not. I have no trust in this defense working out this much every single week. I just don't. Like, I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but can you really win a championship with this defense right now, the way it's playing? I'm not saying they have to get 11, 12 sacks. I'm not saying that but they're making, you notice it. Everybody in this secondary is getting burned. Everybody. So you're telling me everybody looks like shit, that everybody can't play football, no. If you're seeing multiple guys just get burned every single play in this soft fucking zone, the scheme is literally hurting everybody. It's hurting everyone. I'm surprised, and you know what? Maybe after the season we'll hear from a couple Eagle players, depending on what happens. Like, do these players actually like this scheme? Do they question it? It's kind of nuts. Appreciate super chat, by the way. Bradley Roby coming back. Oh, it's definitely huge. He's got to stay healthy though, because I thought like in the second half of that Rams game, because really Bradley Roby didn't really have much reps that week for the Rams. So they were like switched. They were rotating Nichols, Eli Ricks, and they were rotating everybody for that game. And then finally in the second half of that Rams game, they were starting to settle him down a little bit, which was great. And I think you got a savvy vet at that position, which is good. You know what I mean? We got a super chat from Mikhail Cox. Thank you so much. Says, will the defense step it up in the next half? That's what I'm praying to God that's going to happen. I'm really hoping that there is a big step up from this defense. You're not winning shit this year with this defense. You're not doing it. You're not winning a damn thing with this defense this year. If they move and maybe shadow Slay, like literally, Slay was on CeeDee Lamb 4 times. 4 times he gave up 1 first down from CeeDee Lamb. 1. And that's better than 5 or 6 from Ricks. And I mean, Sidney Brown gave up 4 or 5 first downs. I mean, it was just crazy, dude. You're not going to win the matchup every time, but we can't contest a catch. We can't drape a receiver or be on top of a tight end. We can't contest 1 catch. If a quarterback extends the play, I already know if he gets that pass off, it's going to be some big gain that they're going to get. And it's so annoying. And then what happens is it's a big gain plus penalties, plus penalties, plus penalties. It's annoying. I can't stand it. There is no way that they've been sitting here this past week and the coaches haven't talked about that they need to revamp a little bit of what they do with this secondary, especially with Bradley Roby coming back. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Joe Max says, Joe, do you think we'll be looking for coordinators at the end of the season? I don't know. I honestly don't. When it comes to BrianJohnson, I'm not sure. Like, I'm waiting for this to get a little bit better. Hurts. Here's another thing, okay? Because BrianJohnson calls plays, okay? Hurts definitely has a lot more say in play calling. I could tell because Hurts does change the plays on his own. He sees A.J. Brown one-on-one, man-to-man coverage. He's going to take his shot. Him and Hurts are just this close, and I don't mind them taking shots. I think time management has been horrible. That 3rd and 3 after an 8-yard run with DeAndre Swift, 3rd and 3, you take Swift out, you put Gainwell in, you throw this bomb to A.J. Brown. Just run the ball, man. Instead of punting the ball to their 14 and then 3-4 penalties later, we're literally we're shitting our pants at the end of this game because literally the fourth quarter, they're right in the Eagles' red zone the whole entire fourth quarter, pretty much. Got to do something. 3rd and 3, and you're gonna pass. I don't know what. And then there's like these like weird plays that like these really good plays that come out of BrianJohnson, like where they had Gainwell as a back to Hurts's right side. They had like Swift as the wideout on the left side. You know, Gainwell goes to the right for blocking, and like this little pitch and catch thing. Like I love that. You know, to get Swift more yards and more of a head start. I actually really like that a lot. Like, there's like these plays that BrianJohnson has, he comes out with, and you're like, damn, I've never seen this before, and it looks so great. You know, I think they've used Swift a little bit more, but it's just still not enough. You know, I think Kenny G had a great game. You get Cam Jurgens back you get Cam Jurgens back, which is huge. Okay. Shout out to the depth at guard. Tyler Steen didn't really have a fantastic game for his first start, but his most important play was recovering that damn fumble when A.J. Brown and Swift ran into each other. That would have been game over. We would have been laughed at. That would have been game over for the Eagles right there. It's crazy, dude. Crazy shit. I'm sorry I'm ranting too much. But, you know, some of this shit has to be said. Jack White says Nolan Smith should take Nakobe's place. Yeah, I made a video this morning saying, like, if you don't want to, like, here's the thing you could do. If you feel like you need to add another body there instead of signing another depth piece or taking someone off the practice squad to the active roster that's not going to do much of anything, give Nolan Smith more work at Sam linebacker, move Nicholas Morrow to the middle linebacker spot because Morrow's played good. Morrow played good last year for the Bears, and he did a fantastic job for the Bears. Like, he had like over 116 tackles. Like, he did good. Now, is Morrow going to be the most perfect linebacker that we have? Is he the best in coverage? No, but he's played pretty damn good, I got to say. Dean can't even stay on the field all year. He's missed too much time, precious time. Nolan Smith should be moved. You know, Derek Barnett comes in and sign a depth piece. Sign Jason Pierre-Paul. He's 33, 34. He's old, but who gives a shit? He's deep in the rotation. You know what I mean? He's deep in the rotation, so who cares? He wants to play for a contender. We'll see where he goes. We'll see what happens. Maybe they have an idea to sign him. You know, we'll see. What's going on, Jock? Hope you're doing good, man. It has been a while. What's going on, dude? Kenny the Arcamponi says, like no one like to switch or rotate because it's stupid. You defense, you step it up. Like you can't win games like that. What do you mean? It was just like like to switch or rotating because it's why is that stupid? I mean, there's nothing stupid about it. We did it and we've been successful at putting our number one guy on their number one guy. You know what I mean? That's a lot of these teams that have number one, number two receivers that are pretty damn good. They're starting to put their number one guy in the slot because it's a mismatch. And the Eagles had a mismatch against the Cowboys all game. And the Cowboys really exploited it. And they still lost, which it's amazing how this team is playing. There's no doubt. It's something that this is a fighting team. You know, Flyos 5, PCA 5. If Quez comes back, put Jones at time. Yeah, but that's another question. Quez Watkins coming back. What are they going to do? I would definitely like to put. I would like to put Jones in a tight end type move, not full time, but for certain plays and stuff like that. I don't see why that would be a big deal, but I wouldn't mind doing that. The Eagles can compensate for Goddard's injury. They have a lot. You could put. I mean, you could do so much. Jack Stahl is a very good blocker. I get it. Not the best tight end we have, but the good thing is a lot of our backup tight ends have starting experience. All of our tight ends have starting experience. Calcaterra, Jack Stahl, that Albert O we traded for, this past free agent from Denver. He's another guy that I hope they get him more playing time, because I think that Albert O could be our number 2 guy behind Goddard. Realistically, I think he can. But just depends on what the Eagles want to do, but they can compensate for it. They can move Swift around. They can put Julio Jones in the tight end spot, and they'll have Quez and Julio. Like, you could do a lot of things here with your defense. I mean, I don't know the trust factor between Jalen Hurts and Quez Watkins, because we know that even during that Rams game, that it just seemed like the trust wasn't there with Quez. I think we've been missing Quez's burn speed that he has, but he's just not consistent at times, and he's been hurt, so kind of sucks at times when you got to deal with that, I got super chat. Mikhail Koss, thank you so much. Says, I think we could pull this thing together, Joey. Don't you think the guys upstairs are saying something? They won't let this go far. The thing is, I don't know. I would think in reality of, like, when you look at these fucking football games and you say, holy shit, like, look at all the yards we're giving up. Why are we making this so much harder on ourselves? You would look at the tape and say, man, we need to put, now with Roby coming back, we really need to put Slay over here. We need to, shadow him. I mean, they got to do something. They can't play like this anymore. They got to blitz more. They got to bring more pressure. They got to be more downhill with these linebackers. Nicholas Morrow needs to come back to his old ways. Like, it sucks. It's crazy. Appreciate the super chat. Bald Eagle, the super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I misread the stat. Arizona blitz 30+%. Oh, third down. Okay. Yeah. We definitely don't do that. Not much. We don't. That's a lot. That's big. And you got to look at the other thing too. Just because you blitz a lot doesn't mean that, it's going to make your team successful. You know what I mean? Like, some of the most top blitzing teams aren't the most successful teams. I just think you got to sprinkle it in a little bit. There's no corner blitz. There's nothing, no safety blitz. nothing, like it barely happens. It hasn't really happened great, much the past few weeks, and then when they blitz sometimes, sometimes they get no pressure at all to protect it well. Dank says you can be 8-1 and not be willing to look in the mirror. I agree with that, because what I'm afraid of is what they're saying to themselves, like, oh, well, if we're winning this way, who gives a shit, right? Who cares? Why would I care? Chris says, Nick isn't happy with the coordinators. He can't say it to the media. Well, yeah, obviously. I know that. The coordinators get blamed too much. It's hard for me not to blame them more than the players. It's really tough for me to not blame them more than the players. So, Dank says, mind you that Brown and Ricks have never played slot. No, I get it. I get it. It was a tough. I mean, look, they get but I'm talking like beforehand. I'm not gonna take the nickel position as the main reason why, but at the same time, it's tough for me not to. I haven't, I thought the adjustments have, I think by that second half of that Rams game, they started making some really good adjustments. But it's tough for me to say that, Desai is doing right by the players. You're moving corners too far back. I mean, it's not even just the nickel spot. It's everywhere else, dude. Everywhere else. I'm not going to say it every time, like, oh, safety gives up a big play or something like that it's on them, and, oh, it's all scheme just because they can't cover them. I mean, it's both. It's definitely both. Snap City says, "Hey Joey, relax, my guy. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You got shit to do." I got a job. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? I work a normal job every day. Jeremy said our running game is crap because other teams know when we are going to run. It's so obvious. Yeah, like when they put Gainwell in sometimes. If they put Gainwell in between the 20-yard line and the goal line, they know they're running with him most of the time that he's going to run. If it's between the 20s, most of the time they're going to pass the ball. That's why I feel like they're making it way too obvious. Rashad Penny only got the snaps that he did get was only because they want to give Hurts a little bit more help because of that injury that he took. The hit that he took by what's his face. Thanks says that it's based on the scheme that calls for them to play back. King Philly says Roby, Dean, Maddox, Watkins, and Goddard are become liabilities. We are 8-1 for a reason. This team battles through adversity by overcoming injuries and flaws. Well, dude, the Goddard injury, I can't really put that as of like that's an injury that he got. He got dirty hitted on that. He got his arm twisted and all weight brought down on his arm on purpose. So I'm not blaming. Yes, Dallas Goedert has these little injuries that he's out for weeks. I mean, thank God he's only out for like 4 weeks, which is good. We'll get Dallas Goedert back regardless, which is a great thing. But Watkins, liability, no doubt. The Kobe Dean, liability. Maddox, yikes. There's actually a chance Maddox could actually come back by the playoffs. There's actually there's a good chance if the Eagles make it to like the NFC Championship game, there's a good chance he's back. It's kind of crazy. Kind of nuts. Did that last year. If he didn't have, he got hurt twice last year. Joey, that Job movie was a reference to movie. Oh, I've seen that movie before, but haven't in a long time. So sorry. I haven't seen it. I was like, you have a job. I'm like, I don't have a job. I have nothing to do. I don't have a job. What are you talking about? Ron said, I love that AJ is an Eagle and the dominance he's showing on the league, but I can't wait until Smitty gets his respect and NFL starts talking about him as top 5 wide receiver when you think that'll happen. I mean, I think we haven't seen the best Smitty game yet this year. And, when the hot hand is out there and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown just have this connection, it's just what it is. I don't think that Devontae Smith doesn't get respect, but he's not going to be talked about as much because he doesn't have 1,000 yards yet. And I think, what does Devontae Smith have right now? Yardage. What does he have, like over 500 right now? I think he could still get it. Dank says Goddard's last 2 injuries were dirty plays. Oh, yeah, the face mask. That was the last time he was injured. The face mask Washington game, we were 7-0. Yeah, it was a dirty play. I can't put too much on dirty plays, man. When it's dirty plays and you get you're forced an injury, it sucks, It's not great. Drew says, is Gannon better than Desai, or was the talent just better last year? Ricks, Brown, Dean. I think the talent was better last year. 100%. Talent was better. Because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson can play safety and play nickel. We don't have a hybrid guy. Sidney Brown is starting to cross-train to nickel now, but is he playing well at that position? At times, but not entirely. I think the players bailed out Gannon last year, no doubt, because there was so much talent. 70+ sacks. It's just ridiculous. That was I don't want to talk about last year. Last year's last year. I'm not even trying to compare to last year. I think the talent was better last year. I think we were just playing better. And the difference is the offense was scoring more points last year too. 533 yards. Nice. I figured it was over 500. Kale says, hey, Joey, what would you like to see if you haven't seen yet from the Eagles? I mean, I would like to see better situational football on offense. When it's second and short, third and short, run the fucking ball. If you're going to run the brotherly shove all the damn time, you know what I mean? Then you don't have to punt the ball. Like you throw when they throw deep balls on, I know they're trying to catch guys off. They're trying to catch the defense off guard at times with plays like that, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And defensively, they have to play closer. They got to play closer. They're playing too far. And they need to match up well. They're not matching up well. They're just lining up and letting guys come off the line. I mean, it's just that's all they're doing. Defensive line would benefit a lot more if they played a little close up, Kevin Byard's got to show up sooner or later. He's only played for the past couple weeks, but I'll give him more time. Nate Gray says, look up Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes stats through 9 weeks, and they still talk about Mahomes being. Yeah, it's well, maybe they're saying that based off of schedule, but I don't think they're going to give it to Jalen Hurts. Even if he's 4-1 through the next 5 weeks, I don't think they'll give Jalen Hurts MVP. I don't think he will be the MVP. I think he can be, but because overall total touchdowns versus passing touchdowns is where it's going to hurt Jalen Hurts. The league is changing. There's a lot more mobile quarterbacks now. Okay. The league is changing now. They don't respect these rushing touchdowns by Hurts. They don't respect it. They don't think it's skill. They don't think, yes, you score the same amount of points, but they just don't respect it. Last year, he wasn't going to get it just because he missed a couple games and he got hurt and it kind of messed everything up, Chiefs aren't going to have. Yeah, buddy boy. That's what I'm talking about. Splendid said Chiefs aren't going to have a wet field this time. Mm-hmm. Not this year. It's a totally different time. Dank says, with the way Jalen's playing, Smith will have over 1,000. I think he will. I think he will this year. I think he'll have it. Kenny says, I'm hate seeing guys getting dirty hits. I know, it sucks. Yeah, Cowboys were some dirty motherfuckers, dude. They were some dirty assholes. Drew said, you got to hold up in coverage to get 70 sacks. This year's defense can't do that. That's 100% true. 100% true. There's been a lot of times, too, where they actually covered well with this defense this year, and quarterbacks are scrambling all over us. You know what I mean? Joel says defense was much more healthy as well. Yeah, it's true. It's true. We used to, to be honest with you, I think 2 things were right last year. 2 things. Number one, 2 things that were actually still missing last year. Avonte Maddox actually played some games last year, then got hurt later on. And they still look pretty damn good because Chauncey can move to another position. We have that movable hybrid Malcolm Jenkins piece to our defense. We don't have that this year. You lose a nickel corner, we start to panic. That's what was going on. Drew said, Mahomes has a good defense. We should not be 8-1 with how our defense has played. Jalen should be MVP. I get it. Mikhail says, Eagles win 4 over 1 games, I think, but there has to be a change. Most definitely. I don't know. I cringe sometimes when I see our mistakes. I get it. I mean, you're seeing the same thing every day. And it's like, oh, well, we're winning this way, so why not just keep doing it? We're winning. We're winning this way. Cam Phillips said, I missed the safety blitz. Malcolm Jenkins was an expert. Well, Malcolm used to really bandage up the defense. He would bandage up every weakness that we had. I mean, we had Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills as our outside corners, dude. It's crazy how a lot has changed over the years. Showman says they always have to hurt our guy Goddard. Now I have to find another tight end fantasy, but no, seriously, it's always got to be Goddard. I know, always is. Dank says Hurts only has 2 less touchdown passes on 24 throws, just as many picks, and he has no more than 95 more passing yards. Yeah, so how do they figure that out then by the end of the year? I as much as Jalen Hurts deserves it, Jalen Hurts deserves it. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get it, bro. I want him to get it badly. I mean, if you guys don't think that, I really do. Like, I really want him to get this shit. And it pisses me off that I don't think they're going to respect Jalen Hurts enough, regardless of what his statistics are, because of his rushing touch. I think the rushing touchdowns just hurt because the league doesn't view them as skill. I mean, that's just me, though. Rogue says, enjoy. Don't listen to the haters, man. You're so correct with the defense scheme. We can't win a big game, and that's what matters if they don't win a Super Bowl again. It's just, dude, I tell the truth. Like, I don't think the Eagles can win a Super Bowl playing. I don't think they could play. The defense can't play like this if they're winning a championship. There's no fucking way. There's no way they're winning with this defense playing like this. I'll go back to this. I'm hoping the guy don't go back to this video, this live stream, and say, I told you so. You know what I mean? I feel like it's lazy. I feel like when you're moving everybody back, it's just it's very lazy. Like, you're making it so cheap to play in this defense. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like there's no creativity at all in this defense. Line them up, sit back, and line them up. Boom. That's it. Whatever happens, happens. That's what I feel like it is every single snap. Dank says, it's crazy year when Sam Howell is second in the league. Dude, it's crazy. The first game we thought we made them look good. Second game we made them look, God, disgusting. 11 incompletions for Sam Howell the first game. I think it was almost the same the second game. 11 incompletions the second game with more yards. It's crazy. Mikhail says, do you work besides doing this? Does this make money? Well, I want to know. I want to do what you do. I just need answers on some things because I don't need to put it. Yeah, it does. It does. Like, obviously having another job definitely helps, but it's not about that. It's about enjoying like content you put out, and it's not if all I want to do is make money, like, then I shouldn't be doing this. That's just the truth. I do it because I love doing this. Yeah, I mean, to reap rewards from it is great, from doing it a long time and working your fucking ass off. Yeah. But it's good. Ron said, if Chauncey was still here, would have mattered in the scheme to size running. I do miss Chauncey Gardner, man. Can't lie. Losing him in the offseason was a blow to the defense. I need Byard to show up soon. Yeah, it was. It's a huge loss for the defense. Like I said, it could play multiple. It could play nickel and safety, and I feel like we're more conservative this year than we were last year, and that's bad. That's not good. If I'm saying Desai is worse than Gannon right now, I'm saying that right now. I don't know, but that's how it looks right now. Hoping I'm wrong. DeAndre Swift has low-key as a fumble problem. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I know if we lost that game because of that, and obviously it's AJ Brown. I think Swift. It was either Swift or AJ Brown that messed up on that play. I think it was Swift because he kind of blamed it on himself. The fumble, obviously, but. Jeff also says, nobody can blame the secondary play on the players. Do you really think we have one of the worst talented secondaries in the league? No, I don't. They look like that because of the scheme. Like, if I'm seeing every single player in this defense is getting burnt. So you're saying every player is a bad player, and it's consistent. Every game it's consistent. They gave up a shit ton of yards versus Washington, a shit ton of yards versus the Cowboys, and it was over and over and over and over and over. It was just happening over and over again. I can't. I have to. Yes, players are on the field. You have to blame them to some degree, but every player is getting burnt Every single player. Desai is not putting his players in the right position to win football games. They're literally sitting them back and saying, let's just defend this area. What's with the shit with these receivers coming off the line? Bradbury or Slay is like doing this, like pointing while they go by them. What communication is that? The communication is the number one problem with this defense. How do you communicate? Seriously, how do you communicate mid-play? How do you communicate mid-play? I don't get it. I'm fucking hot. Pause. Fucking hot. I'm telling you. Con says, Joe, do you think Sirianni, our front office, is making the DC play a certain scheme? I remember Sirianni having a press conference hiring DC and saying he had some non-negotiables for the DC. Well, from what I'm hearing, that yeah, it's been the front office or Nick Sirianni likes this defense for some fucking reason. I don't know. From what was said, that's what I'm hearing. Booger said, what up, Joey? Did you hear Kelsey last night Thursday Night Football that the Eagles filed for a trademark of the brotherly shove? My bad if you already talked about this. No, I did not hear that. I saw on Twitter that they trademarked Kelly Green, the name Kelly Green, which makes sense. Hopefully that means good things for the future for Kelly Green. But the brotherly shove, interesting. That's cool. That's cool. They're gonna make T-shirts out of that shit. They're going to make T-shirts out of that shit. Mikhail Cox said, what's going on with Byard? Sorry, I think we should have worded my question about you do better. I want to enjoy it when I do as Kim. Sorry. No, you're good. You're good. No. Byard, nothing. Byard, I got to give Byard a couple more weeks. Like, Byard hasn't been here long. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, when he was here, he got, like, traded right before the season started. Like, right a couple weeks before the season started. It took him like 3-4 games to get even attention from us as fans. You know? Loyal says, let's be real. Any offense knows to throw against us. We are the worst team in defense when it comes to passing. We are a quarterback fantasy when they know they're going to play. Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, I swear to God, I had people come up to me, dude, your secondary sucks. Every friend that texts me that knows nothing about the coaches or nothing about anything, dude, your secondary is garbage. Oh, my God. I'm like, dude, no shit. They do this every single game. We're 8-1, and they do this shit every single week. Every week. No change. Been the same shit. The same shit. I got to say, though, the best games the Eagles have played this year, defensively, I'd say the Rams game was the best game. Actually, to be honest, no. I'd say Miami's game was the best game this year. How the fuck do you do that? Like, let me tell you something. How the hell do you fight off a track star squad like Miami? You know, like Tyreek Hill. I was dead ass scared of Tyreek Hill coming to Philadelphia and tearing us apart. And we held him to 88 yards. It's crazy, dude. And Jacob says it, literally relying on it puts more pressure on the offense, which isn't fair at all. It's not fair. I think it's total bullshit. Total bullshit. I was going to say Tampa Bay. I wasn't sure, though. I thought they played off the ball again. I mean, to be honest with you, like Mike Evans isn't some big I never really Mike Evans is a good receiver, but I don't think he's like, oh my God, let's sit back 10 yards. Holy shit. You know, I'm not crazy with Mike Evans. Lo says I'm tired of this shit. I know. Like, I seriously have to watch my defense get fucking torched every single week. And we have to be biting our nails at the end of every fucking game. Like, every game. It's crazy, dude. I hate it. I hate this defense. I can't stand it. I have to deal with it because that's what we're playing this year, but I can't stand it. Bend, don't break is a fucking disaster. It's not going to last. It is not going to last, which puts more pressure on BrianJohnson and this freaking offense. I'm telling you right now, offensively, if BrianJohnson can't get us to a Super Bowl with this offense, I'm telling you right now, it obviously depends on the defense too, but if Frank Reich is fired as the head coach for the Colts, right? I mean, for the Panthers right now, there's no doubt I think Sirianni will have him either as an assistant with the Eagles or he will be the new coordinator in 24. It wouldn't shock me. Dude, I'm telling you right now, like, I will have the biggest rant approaching. Okay. Dank says, when we get Roby back, I think things will be different. Yeah, I'm holding you to that because I've been saying that to myself pretty much since the Eagles have been on this bye week. Roby's coming back. They should be more comfortable on the inside now. They don't have to worry about it too much, so they can afford to move some guys around. See, I'm not like the other Eagle fans on Twitter or like, the people are like, oh, we're winning. What does it matter? Like I'm not falling for this bullshit again. Last year, you won 14 games and the most important game of the season, you got mentally and physically fucking annihilated. Okay. And embarrassed. Regardless of wet field or whatever the fuck, and the illegal tampering with Jonathan Gannon from the NFC Championship games to the Super Bowl. I'm not falling for this shit anymore. I'm not doing it. Radiation Bots, what's going on, man? He says Miami line was in shambles and they are small fit. Dude, like, look what they did. They were so like they played such a great game defensively against Miami. Why are they treating every other team like they're going to total opposite with these other teams? Fucking annoys me. Radiation Bots, member for 7 months. My biggest fear is that we become the 90s Bills. Jesus, please don't. Dank says, having guys who never played slot before and rookies. No, I get it, dude. I get it. But that can't be the main thing and why this whole defense has been giving up that many yards the whole entire year. I'm going to hold you to it because if Bradley Roby plays, okay, if Bradley Roby plays and this defense is still getting fucking burned, I'm going to have a problem. There is a good chance the Eagles will lose against Kansas City. Is Kansas City good? No. I don't think they're as good as everyone has advertised them to be. They have gotten away with a lot of games this past year. Okay? Matt Nagy isn't a great replacement. I think the defense is playing pretty damn good. I think Mahomes has a good defense behind him. And they have weapons. They got weapons. Thank God we're coming off a bye and getting ready for this shit. I'm telling you right now, both teams between KC and the Eagles are coming off bye weeks. I swear to God, if we come off a bye week and we look that fucking horrible, it's going to be a problem. You get Roby back and you still look like shit, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a fucking problem beyond. Joe said, Joe, do you think we rushed into hiring Desai after letting Vic walk out the door? I don't know. I know they were looking at, I have to give them credit for their hiring process because they literally were looking everywhere. They didn't even look in the NFL at first. They went to the college ranks. They were looking at Georgia's defensive coordinator, Michigan's defensive coordinator. They were looking all over the place for a defensive coordinator. They went to the college ranks for a defensive coordinator. So they did their homework on a lot of coaches, even coming from college. So I have to give them respect for that. Vic Fangio couldn't wait long. Vic Fangio had some things to do. So he became the defensive coordinator for Miami. So that's what I said. I said, why isn't he signing with the Eagles? And then when he got signed, I was like, well, what the hell happened? And dude, like, not only did we beat Miami and play great defense against them, I mean, Desai was Vic Fangio's apprentice at Chicago when he was a quality control guy, and Fangio was the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Yeah, I mean, Fangio knows our players left and right, and he still couldn't beat us. And then I'm like, man, defense is turning around. Look at us. And then we play 3 fucking games. And they're just giving up fucking yardage like this. It's crazy. Philly 500's get what's going on, man. He says, let's be honest, Joey. The Dust Dumbass zone defense works better against speedy receivers like Hill. That's the only reason we looked good against Miami. Yeah, maybe. Well, him and Waddle and some of the other guys. You're doing it against everybody, man. Everybody. I would rather play press somewhat, get close. All Bradbury and Slay have to do is just give a push. That's all. Just push. One little push that will get this man off his route, that will get a player off its route and kind of diagnose and less the timing of between quarterback to tight end or wide receiver, the connection and timing, which will give you more safety help, which will give you a better chance to defend, for that ball to be inaccurate. I hate the shit when they look like they're playing press and then they're like running backwards immediately, which I can't stand, dude. If you're just gonna run backwards and what is that? Are you disguising a coverage that way? Bradbury goes up and plays press. He goes up to the guy, and then all of a sudden he's like moving backwards immediately as soon as he starts to run. It's like, what's the point? Then you might as well play off ball then move 10 yards back if that's the case. I mean, if you're going to do that, you're really going to get burnt for yards. You're going to get killed for yards. Jeff says the only time the deals look good is when we play a weak O-line or D-line wins a bunch. Sometimes. I mean, that's on them, though. Like, if teams have offensive line injuries, I mean, I can't say, oh, this only, you have to. That's why the Eagles are great with depth in the trenches when it comes to offensive line. That's why we're good at what we do. Other teams get one injury on the offensive line and they're like screwed for the rest of the year. Big hole, big mismatch. This Vic Fangio style defense is overrated. I get it. No other team does this. It's crazy. Jeremy says guaranteed fit. No, I mean, when it comes to giving up points, the Eagles haven't really done. The Eagles aren't getting smacked by anybody. That's the one thing I could say about this defense. They haven't got literally smacked in the fucking face. Like, they haven't got fucked up like that. You know what I mean? The one thing I'll say is they never gotten like massacred, like over 40 points. Like, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I don't see it happening. You would think that this defense would get burned that much. But for how they're playing, like they're playing this off-ball, pure zone defense, for what should happen is not happening, which makes this defense look great. But giving offenses opportunity like this where quarterbacks are licking their chops, are like, oh, I'm throwing under, getting those big chunk yards, easy first downs. Like, if Mahomes is the only problem we have with this defensive line is we can't get after these fucking quarterbacks sometimes. It's like we get like an arm around a quarterback, we lose them. And then, Patrick Mahomes is going to fucking waddle his little ass past the first down marker every single time. Dak Prescott did that shit to us last week. We get a hand on him. We get pressure on him. He got out of the pocket. He's escaped. I can't stand that shit. And then a big play happens where, because our corners can't fucking stand, I get it. You can't cover for 5, 6 seconds. I get it. But every time quarterbacks extend plays off of miss sacks, missed tackles, big play. I'm already expecting a big play downfield of the Eagles being 10 yards behind somebody. That's what I'm always looking at, Blaine says, Joey, if I was you, I would use Reddick the way they use. I'd move. Trust me, that's another thing they could do that they never do. Like they don't use Reddick. Yeah, I'm using Reddick and just kind of moving him around and having him just taunt the line. And I would love him to do that. I feel like the Eagles are thinking that maybe there's a weakness when he's not playing there on the edge. If they start moving him around, then there will be a weakness at that spot where they won't get enough pressure, that they don't have enough upside in Derek Barnett to say, hey, just move around the field, pick your spot and just cause havoc. They haven't done that either. I don't expect them to do that. Like Reddick has 6.5 sacks right now. Statistically for sacks, they've done, him and Reddick. And Josh Sweat has 50 pressures and 6.5. He leads in fourth quarter sacks. No, he leads in fourth quarter quarterback hits. He's got 50 pressures and 6.5 sacks for the year. I think he ties with Micah Parsons for pressures. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Press bail. Press bail. That's fucking funny. It's disguise, I guess. I guess it is. We look good against the Bucs because our offense had. Yeah, I remember they had a lot of, they had a high time rate in possession, no doubt. Fraser, can anybody remember the last time they were able to sit back and actually enjoy a game? Literally always on. I get that. Like, I get how football is not supposed to be like a comfortable game every game. Like, I get that. I don't think we've seen this offense reach its peak. I don't think we've seen this defense really reach its. And I'm not even expecting not even reach its. I'm not even saying reach this peak, but has looked consistent. Has been consistent every week. Depending. The offense is obviously scoring points every week. So I think the offense is fine at times. It's just situational shit that pisses me off. The defense will play a great game well, and they will just, but they're 8-1. See, that's what I'm saying, dude. They're 8-1, and it's just man, I can't be we're talking about an 8-1 team. We're bitching this. We're talking about the Eagles like they haven't won a game this year. We're talking about this team like they have not won a fucking thing this year. We're talking as if the Eagles didn't draft well, they didn't do nothing in free agency, or quarterback is nothing. We're talking as if this team is not doing shit, and it's crazy. But we expect better out of some weeks. That Cowboys game was a fucking heart attack. 5 heart attacks, 5 ambulances coming to my house because I was going to die sooner or later. Jeremy says, yes, Andy Reid knows us well. It will happen. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to score over 40 points on us. That's definitely not going to happen. I don't think a team is going to score over 40 on our defense. As much as I'll talk shit about this defense, I don't think they're going to allow that to happen. Hence why they're not giving up the big play every single game. It's happened before. It's not like it's impossible because Tyreek Hill just had a big play. It's happened. It's already happened a few weeks already. Big plays have gone over us. It's not happening consistently, but it's happened. Dane says Jalen and AJ are 8-1. Our defense, not so much. Cryptox says, last time I relaxed watching us play was last year, each time we played the Giants massacre games. Thanks that we say division games aren't regular games, then get mad when the division game is close. It's always close. It's either close or it's one team just making the one. It really comes down to one of the teams making the less mistakes. That's what it really comes down to. So, So, if we didn't have an offense the way we have this year, if we didn't have this offense this year, this team would lose every game. No doubt. I believe it. I totally believe it. But yeah, I mean, the bye week's been interesting, but I hope we see a different team with Roby coming back defensively. That's what I'm kind of looking for. Bald Eagle says our style of play is not set up for good complementary football. Tommy Gunn says, I always wonder who makes these weird schedules before the season starts. I don't know if it's like an analytical computer doing this. I honestly don't know how they do it. I thought like it's all AI computer generated, but I could be wrong. And then they kind of edit it. Like they'll have like a computer do it and then they'll like kind of edit it. That's what I thought, but maybe I could be wrong though. Drew says, when we got that 28-17 lead against Dallas, our defense couldn't get our offense on the field. They got hit on an inch line and got it back with 2 minutes left. Could have been a blowout. Yeah, and plus that 3rd and 3, like I said, like the 3rd and 3, they could have wasted so much more time. Instead of throwing a bomb to AJ Brown on 3rd and 3, it's just ridiculous. Like situational football, like BrianJohnson, and this is maybe sometimes this is Jalen Hurts too, kind of like changing the play up a little bit when he sees something else and wants to do something different. You know? Yeah, I mean, they had a nice lead after the AJ Brown touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Like they were really starting to separate. And then the defense was just letting up. So then I said to myself, okay, look at the defense, okay? 19, 20, 21, 2. They were up 2 scores. 20, yeah, they were up 28-17. They were up 2 scores. So what, and this is what Gannon did last year, and this is what Sean Desai likes to do. When you're up by 2 scores, the Eagles are like, oh no, we can't be up by 2 scores. We need to keep this close. They play conservative. Every time they're up by multiple touchdowns, they're conservative. It's fucking annoying. It's shit. Dak Prescott's getting second and short every fucking time. If you hit and Dak Prescott, like it was like what? It was like 3rd and 15, right? We got a sack or it was a penalty. I forgot what it was. 3rd and 15, and the Cowboys get 14 yards. Like we give up the most amount of yards for a play. 3rd and 15, you can't even keep it within 5-6 yards. 3rd and 15, they get 14 yards. It's just stupid, man. I like seriously. 3rd and 15, you should be aggressive as shit. It's crazy, dude. Bleeding Grease says, Joey, what would your elevator pitch if it was you and Sirianni? The elevator pitch? Run the ball on short downs. Run the ball on short downs with DeAndre Swift if you have a 2nd and 4 or less. Use Rashad Penny in the red zone. Stop depending on your 4-man pass rush defensively and put another guy on a blitz. Do something when it's 3rd and long, 2nd and long. Play a little bit closer to the chest a little bit. Get a little bit more physical. Shadow slay a little bit on the best guy because it's not helping. It's little things that are very fixable, and the Eagles just seem to say, oh, we're winning this way, so fuck it. Let's just keep doing it until we lose another fucking game that we're going to overlook, like the New York fucking Jets. Oh, I'm pissed. 8-1, and I'm like that pissed off. I shouldn't be. This second half of the schedule, this is it. We're through half the season already, guys. Like fucking, we just got out of train camp like a week ago. Like this season has gone by so fast. We're gonna be talking about the draft real soon. Like I'm not even kidding. I don't want to get into a situation this year. Okay, I'm not gonna get into another situation this year where we lose in a fucking Super Bowl, and I got to talk about free agents in a week. I can't even process losing a Super Bowl as well as wanting to disappear off YouTube for 2 weeks because that's what I wanted to do. But obviously I couldn't. I got to eat the crow. I got to take it like a man, and I got to move forward. You gotta move forward with things. It's like life, man. You can't let shit eat you up. You gotta fucking, as much as it pisses you off, use it as motivation. As much as it pisses you off and people want to piss you off, keep moving forward. Keep doing your thing. The only person that could stop you is you. The Eagles they control their destiny. You know? I don't think any Cowboy players got fined. All these running backs are getting fined from all these stupid fucking hits. Like, all these running backs are getting fined. Seriously? It's crazy. Matt says, can you believe once we play KC, there will be 6 games left? Yeah, but we're going to be playing more than 6 games this year. Yeah, I saw that I heard that this year it's going to be Ravens Eagles Super Bowl. The Eagles have never faced the Ravens in the Jalen Hurts era. When's the last time we faced the Ravens? I remember we faced them in 16. I forgot one other year we faced them. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have. I have it on PC, but Philly John says Joey spitting. I tried to get one of those fucking jackets, those $400 fucking jackets, the Princess Diana jacket. Tried getting that shit, and holy crap, dude, the scalpers are fucking insane. So it's a joke. What's going on, Philly John? Drew says we are good at holding teams at 3rd and long and then giving it up, always on 3rd and 4th down. I know. It's crazy, dude. Thanks that we gave up a big lead, but still won. That's crazy, dude. I'm not like, I know that AJ will hold, AJ and Hurts and Devontae, they'll hold each other accountable. That's why I don't. So if the offense ever kind of dips and plays bad during a game, I know that they will be on each other's ass to get something going. You know what I mean? The offense I don't really have an issue with, besides, some of these stupid bonehead plays that happen on certain downs that you're just making it harder for yourself and your team. Yeah, I think it was 2016 when we lost. It was 2016 with Wentz. I fucking made a video about Carson Wentz and people got so fucking pissed off. I mean, pissed. Really pissed off. I don't get it, man. I don't know with these fucking people. Like, he's not even on this team anymore. And I get like, he's on the team. Why are you talking about it? I get it. I'm not getting into Carson Wentz, by the way. I'm just saying. But 2024 11 1. Oh, God, man. Yay. I don't even want to remember that. What was the tie? The Bengals, right? God, I remember that shit like it was yesterday. When we didn't take the field goal and we punted the ball, there was like no time left, and Sirianni decided to take the tie instead of, not Sirianni, Doug Peterson. I'm getting confused. I think it was when we were I forgot where we were on the field, but I know it was down to like they didn't have enough, like, I guess he'd rather tie the game up. VPR, what's going on, man? He says, hey, Joey, me and the guys are my crew. Our Eagles fans are absolutely insane. Sit by our coordinators are calling these plays, especially the side. What the hell? Stay safe. You too, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I get pissed off like after every fucking. I can record, like, I swear to God, I'm going to record every time. I'm going to go through all my streams. I'm going to take clips. I'm going to record every time the Eagles give up big yards and what I say about this fucking defensive coordinator. I swear to God, there's so many clips of it. It's ridiculous. Michaela Cox on Super Chat, thank you so much. Says, you think the players would say something by now? Yeah. I think Slay said something in the 4th quarter against the Cowboys. He's like, if 88 goes inside, he goes to the slot, I'm going to the slot. Like, fuck you, coach. Like, I'm tired of watching this shit. That's pretty much what they're doing. I think Slay is fed up. I think Slay is definitely fed up. Is it going to be global? Are they going to say something like during practice or not? Probably not. I doubt it. Matt says, remember when they blew up on you in 2020 when you said something was wrong? Dude, that was a tough year, man. 2020, Eagles, Washington in Washington. Okay. We were up 17-0. What was it? 14-0, 17-0. They came back. Washington came back and won that game. That moment, I made a video that night and I was like, or after the game, I made a video that day and I was like, something's wrong with Carson Wentz. Something's wrong with Doug and something is wrong with Carson. Like something is literally wrong with Carson Wentz. Like there is mentally something is up. And I think this is it. After the first game of the season. You going to be recording the whole game? Oh, I do live play-by-plays. I do live play-by-play reactions of every Eagles game every week. Just come to my channel when the game's about to start, and I'm reacting and play-by-play it. Rosie's Bennett says, I'm a Marylander, and I'm for the Eagles. There you go. Drew says, every 3rd and 3, I see the corners 8 yards off. I immediately know they are converting, and it happens all the time. That's what I can't stand. Short yardage for offenses, and we're playing off the ball like that. Pisses me off. Pisses me off, dude. $17-0. Yeah, it was 17-0 that game. I remember. Oh, and the Jadeveon Clowney hit in 2019 in the Wild. I was at that game, by the way. I was fucking there. I was there. Okay. I was there. It was 7 or 8 plays. I think it was Carson Wentz had like 7, 8 snaps. He had a concussion. And it was horrible. People were like, everybody in the stands was on their phones and they were like, oh my God, Carson's hurt. Carson has a concussion. I'm like, what? I was so heated that day. So heated. Jalen Drager. Not even that, dude. Like, even like, who's that other receiver that we used? Like, even Devontae Smith's rookie year, that receiver that we had, we used him for like verticals. We didn't even use Devontae Smith like a fucking first round receiver. The hell's his name? Who's the other receiver that we had? We used him like as a vertical threat, and it really annoyed us. Like when Devontae Smith was drafted, what the fuck's his name? Not Quez, the other fucking guy that we had. When Carson Wentz bench for Jalen Hurts cried like a baby. Because you seen X, people are picking us apart there. I hate this. By the way, thanks for everything. Big love. Appreciate it so much, Michaela, and all the support. Thank you so much. John Hightower. There you go. No, Travis Fulgham was before that. Aguilar, no, he was already off the team. No. We don't got to say much about J-Jaw. John Hightower was another guy I thought had a lot of potential. And they just used him like he was like a fucking deep threat. I don't know why. Don't know why. Appreciate it, John. Yeah, it was Hightower. Reginald said, what is the purpose of playing up and not bumping our receivers? Ricks played good on Hill when he gets well, yeah, that's what he did. When Eli Ricks had hands on Tyreek Hill, he had 3 snaps against Tyreek Hill, and he did a good job. That last one he had his hands on, got physical with him, and covered him the whole way. Because putting your hands on him, obviously, it's going to disrupt the route, but it's going to help you as a corner and help, obviously, the bad timing between quarterback and wide receiver when it comes to that play. Robert Quinn. Oh, God, what a waste that was. 4th round pick. Alshon's still around. Alshon actually, when we had the Kelly Greens or whatever, like when the Eagles put some post up or the Eagles put, I don't know. I don't think it was the Kelly Greens. I think it was when the Eagles were facing the Cowboys. There was like before the game, not right before the game started, but like in the week of Eagles versus Dallas. He put up like a tweet, like said something. Oh no, it was the trade. Oh no, it was the trade for Kevin Byard. And Julio Jones, I think. One of the two. I think it was a Julio Jones trade. And they were like, oh, Howie. He put up like a tweet saying Howie at it again. He retweeted it. And somebody asked him, you got to come down to the link and like come for a game. And he's like, oh, I'm definitely going to be coming this year, no doubt. Like Alshon hasn't been around. Like he hasn't been around in a while. He's not even retired yet. He's not playing. He's not doing anything. He's just pretty much retired at this point. You know, gotta love Alshon Jeffrey, no doubt. Then said if it's a Bird Bowl, we get to see Aguilar. Oh yeah, I forgot. Aguilar is with the Ravens. Aguilar's had a weird career, man. He's had like 2 down years, a fantastic 17 year. He went to the Ravens under $1 million, played really well, went to the Patriots for a few years on a bigger contract, played up and down, mostly down. And then now is with actually not playing too bad with the Ravens right now. It's had a very up and down, non-consistent career, but he's still getting paid and still has a job. It's crazy, man. I saw Rager had that drop when he was, I think the last game when we were playing the Cow, I think it was the last game that he had a major drop wide open. I'm like, he's still a starting receiver in this league. It's fucking nuts, dude. Not all this time. When he went to the Vikings, we actually got picks for him, which is kind of nuts. All the old wide receivers came here at the Kelly Green game. Let's see. I got a text here. That's from Philly. Dane says B-Dog making the rounds this week. Oh, that's good. Drew says if we pressured more and blitzed more, I would be on with more flags or getting best Steve. I'll take it. No, I mean that's what I think they have to do. They have to be a little bit more aggressive. That's all. Playing your linebackers downhill every time the Eagles run a stunt or play like these linebackers downhill through a blitz, especially Nicholas Morrow or Zach Cunningham. They always make plays, whether it's a tackle for loss, a hit on the quarterback, whatever. So, but hey. It is what it is, but we got 174 in the chat. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Put the likes up like crazy. So schedule for this week. We will have the Philly Shakedown tomorrow night, most likely. What we're going to talk about, definitely a lot to talk about within the bye week that me and Philly need to go over. And then I don't know what I'm doing Sunday. I think I'm just going to put out a couple videos on Sunday. I'm not streaming. I don't really stream any other games besides the Eagles games. So I'm probably going to obviously watch. I'll watch the Cowboys. I'll watch the NFC East. And then we'll be in KC mode. We'll talk about KC next week and get down to business. So that is the name of the game. That's where we're going. And that's pretty much it. So you guys enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back. Joe Castro will probably be on with me Monday to talk about the, just the Eagles and KC. And, we'll probably have another stream at you guys on Monday. So other than that, yeah, that's it. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Peace.